Clutch Report. Breakdowns, insights, knowledge. Thank you for tuning in. And here's your host, Jamaal Bethea.
So I made a video, and the video was about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and if he were to win regular season MVP, win a championship and finals MVP, slide up a little bit, I would give him the brief one season title of best player in the league. Especially because we've heard some people in the past, a lot of the older generation, talk about parity in the league and how LeBron destroyed it with the super team thing. And I'm like, parity has never really existed. Just to give you a quick rundown, the 70s might have had parity. The 2020s so far have parity, but most other eras it didn't. The 50s and 60s were ran by the Celtics. The 80s, the Lakers and Celtics won 80% of the championships. That's not parity. Those are dynasties. In the 90s, the Bulls and Rockets won 80% of the championships. That's not parity. Those are dynasties. In the 2000s, the Spurs and Lakers won 70% of the championships. That's not parity. Those are dynasties. And then in the 2010s, LeBron went to 8 in a row, 9 out of 10 years, 10 total. And Stephen Curry and the Warriors went to 6 and won 3. And then, of course, in 2022, they went to their 7th and won their 4th. So it's just, so far in this particular decade, I can't believe we're 5 years into the 2020s. A different team has won the championship every year. And so I think the difference is now some of why the NBA is struggling in viewership. You know how they say the truth is stranger than fiction? It's almost like what's real doesn't get talked about more than what's fake in society. And I know we all feel that way. Society is fake. But this whole we hate parity, we hate super team, we want parity, we hate super teams. I'm like, the NBA numbers, the viewership, the revenue all do better when there's one or two entities or dynastic teams running the league. It always does better. The Celtics have a chance this year to be the people who say, hey, we're going to be that dynasty for this decade. They won last year. I think they have a good chance to win this year, even though they're down 2-1 to the Knicks. 2-1 is not so far back that they can't storm ahead and win the series. So I think that as that pertains to Nikola Jokic, because I made the video about Shai and what would happen this season if he wins MVP and a championship and finals MVP, I got to be fair. I got to be fair to the guy that's second runner up for the MVP to share my opinion, and Nikola Jokic. I got to be fair to a guy who already has 3 regular season MVPs. I got to be fair. What would another title and another finals MVP really mean for Nikola Jokic? Well, let's talk about it. So Nikola Jokic already is in a very scary, rare era in NBA history. And I'll break down why in a second. But number one, he was drafted 41st. So this is a second round pick. Even though it's a different sport, he wasn't drafted as low as like a Tom Brady, but he was just kind of, second round, 41st. I think Draymond might have even been drafted ahead of Nikola Jokic, like in his particular draft class. And this is why drafting sometimes doesn't really get it right. It's kind of a overall assessment or guesstimation of what you can provide. But I mean, 41st pick is crazy. If you look at what Nikola Jokic has done. So I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Nikola Jokic's career accomplishments to this point, it being 2025. He's a 3-time league MVP, 21, 22, and 24. They gave 23 to Joel Embiid. Okay, cool. NBA champion, 2023, obviously, and a finals MVP, which is really big for his legacy. All NBA first team, 2019, 2021, 2022, and 2024. He's a second team 2020 and 2023. That might be why he didn't get the MVP in 2023, because I guess even the voters felt like he wasn't even really, first team level. I don't know. 7-time All-Star. And, his 3 MVPs and that 7-time All-Star for his career are very important. And I'm going to talk about why. All rookie first team, 164 career triple doubles. That's third all time behind, of course, Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson. He averaged a triple-double this particular season for the entire season. And the same two other guys I mentioned, he is one of three to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikola Jokić is approaching top 20, top 15 like level of like career success. Like he's really high. He's like when the next top 100 players, he's probably gonna be the first name they call. Him, Giannis, like Giannis isn't top 75, but like this is scary. If you hear everything I just ran down, this is really, really scary. And I think sometimes old habits die hard. So a lot of people are going to have a problem putting Nikola Jokić very high on their all-time list because of how new he plays, because of the style of play and the lack of physicality. People are going to prefer older generations because we had the harder road. Hey, that's nobody's problem or fault. It's not that it's not true, right? Jordan fighting through double and triple teams, scoring 30 might not be the same as LeBron having shooters on the floor, spacing his shooters out, which spaces the defense out. And now he has free driving lanes. It's intellectual, but I get what you're saying, right? But that's not anybody's fault. It's not LeBron's fault Michael didn't shoot a lot of threes. And it's not Michael's fault that this era shoots a lot and Michael didn't have to. Whatever. But you got to respect what Nikola Jokić has really done. These 164 career triple doubles is crazy. This is a center, by the way. He's not the first center that has been able to pass the ball. Arvydas Sabonis was, of course, one of the first real big men who could pass. He is the father of Domantas Sabonis, who is the center for the Sacramento Kings. Another excellent passer. But, 164 career triple doubles. The other two guys are guards. Right. And these are things we typically see LeBron do, be top 5 on the all-time assist list for a forward. And he's the list is full of guards. So this is what Jokić is doing. Averaged a triple double this season. Might I also add he shot 57% from the floor. He shot 41% from three, and he shot 80% from the foul line. So not only did he average a triple double, which included 10 assists, 29 points, 12 boards. He did this efficiently. He shot almost 60% from the floor. 57% is absolutely retarded. I haven't even looked at it, but I can tell you the true shooting percentage was probably over 60. I'm going to randomly guess about 65. And a matter of fact, I'll look it up. But like, it's ridiculous, like how productive he was this season. To really drive that point home about how productive he was this season. First of all, let's take a trip back, because one thing I like to do, as you saw, I like to really place guys in history so that you understand exactly what they're doing, right? So if you're looking at the screen, this next graphic I put up, 3 regular season MVPs or more, right? And obviously there's guys the majority of the guys on this list have more than 3, but I'm trying to show you the rare air or the company that Nikola Jokić is in. So when you talk about having 3 regular season MVPs or more, he is literally one of 9 players. The NBA has about 400 players in it. That number has grown over the years because of expansion teams, of course, yada, yada, blase. But look, man, you're at least talking about 10,000 guys who have played this sport. And he is one of 9 players to have 3 or more regular season MVPs. Just a quick rundown of the list. Number 1, of course, is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I feel like gets slighted a lot in a lot of the great conversations, especially the GOAT debate. In my all-time order, it's Michael number 1, LeBron number 2, Kareem number 3. I know a lot of people have Kobe up there, especially after his tragic passing. With people who have passed away, we typically like to talk nicer about them, but sometimes it's okay to also be honest. For me, Kareem is top 3 all time, and I think he gets slighted too much. 6 regular season MVPs. Second on this list is Michael with 5. And look, Jordan is one of those guys. How he could have 12. You know what I mean? But some years, a different player and team have a better narrative. Some years, if you really crunch all the numbers, those players are amazing, but not quite as good as maybe the rest of the other seasons. There's reasons for that. Like Karl Malone getting the MVP, I think, 97 and 98, something like that. But the point is, or was it Karl got it 97, Michael got 98? You guys can get in the comments, tell me that, chat with me, talk to me. But the point is, Michael's second with 5 regular season MVPs. Russell had a lot of accolades, man. 11 titles in 12 seasons. And I think the 12th season he was just hurt, which means he could have won 12 rings. His dominance is a lot harder to grade because when you talk about defensive dominance, that's really where he shines. Offense is always easier to appreciate and or talk about and put a statistic to, and that'll tell us exactly where they fall historically. And, but Bill Russell with 5, LeBron has 4. And again, just like Michael, there's 2 or 3 seasons at the most. I think LeBron could easily probably have 6, to be honest. But there's some other seasons where some other guys had a better narrative and they had a better, overall performance. And I think you have to give them that and be okay with it. Then you have Wilt Chamberlain, to me, only 4. And I say that because of the same thing, probably some narrative and other guys having so-called better seasons. So he didn't get the award those years. But one of the things about Wilt Chamberlain's all-time case that always bothers me is that Wilt played down compared to his regular season every time he went against Bill Russell. So Bill Russell always got the better of Wilt. That hurts his all-time case to me. But 4 regular season MVPs, and then rounding it out, Larry Bird with 3, Magic with 3, Moses Malone, who doesn't get talked about a whole lot. Excellent career, first player to come out of high school and in NBA and was productive right away. He has 3. And then Nikola Jokić is number 9 on that list with 3 regular season MVPs. So 1 of 9 to do something. 1 of 3 with 100, third on all time, 164 triple doubles. 1 of 3 to average a triple double for a season. Do you guys see what I'm basically saying about Nikola Jokić? He's already on so many one of lists. I even looked up how many players in the history of the sport had 7 All-Star appearances. Do you know he's one of 46 to do that? That's less than 50. And we're still talking about a league that has had 10,000 or more players in it. He's less than 50. 1 of 46. So he's even in rare air with that. I'm going to give you guys one more thing that I looked up just out of curiosity to really help with this argument. And this one is actually based on what he does this season. So I said to myself, I wonder how many players in the history of the sport had 2 titles and 2 finals MVPs, right? We know Kobe had 2 finals MVPs. Anyway, let's get on with the list. So if you're looking at this, there are 10 people in the history of the sport that have 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs. If Nikola Jokić somehow gets his team to the finals this year and through the Boston Celtics to a second NBA title and more than likely MVP, because I think this year more than ever, it's been obvious his supporting cast has really leaned on him to be overly overall dominant. He'll be the 11th player in the history of the sport to have 2 titles and 2 finals MVPs. If Nikola Jokić does that, I'm going to personally at least lock him to top 15 all time. At least. And then anything he does past that gets scary. 3 rings and 3 MVPs, 4 rings, God forbid, 4 MVPs. It'll just get scary. I think the only real issue with Nikola Jokić in his all-time ranking is his defense. Now, I'm not one of those people that thinks he's a net negative on defense. I think Nikola Jokić holds his own. I do. But one thing people tend to like is, first of all, a lot of the players in NBA history are largely one-way players. So I'm not about to sit here and act like, oh, the greats are always two-way players. No, they're not. Magic was largely one way, even though he was solid on defense. Steph is largely one way, even though he's solid on defense, right? LeBron has some top tier defensive seasons in his career. He has some rather pitiful defensive seasons. So I'm not about to play this game like in order to be top tier all time, you have to be a great two-way player. Most people in the Hall of Fame are not great two-way players. They might have had moments in their career where they spiked high on defense, but most people are great one way, right? However, Nikola Jokić plays a position that typically thrives on being a defender, right? Like when you look at like Shaq was a top tier defender for a while in his career. Hakeem Olajuwon has the most blocks all time. You look at even somebody like Rudy Gobert, excellent defender, might sometime get outdone depending on what center he's playing against. Embiid's and the Jokic's and the AD's. Well, nobody can stop them. So you can't say he's not a great defender because of them, right? Dwight Howard. So he plays a position that thrives on defense. And his defense is honestly solid at best. That's probably the only thing I think really holds his case back all time. And I'm telling you now, if Nikola Jokić ever truly decided to get in the gym and get in shape, he could do even more damage, 60, 50, 90 or something crazy from the floor, like 35, 15, and 15. I'm exaggerating. But the point I'm making is, I think that even with what he's done, he has a lot more upsides and a lot more potential. I would love to see him take a little more pride in defense. I would. But the truth is, similar to LeBron, the first 7 years of his career, he burns out on the offensive end of the floor. So what are you really expecting anyway from him on defense? That's the real question. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, I like Aaron Gordon at the 4. I like their rotation. I like what they have. DeAndre Jordan, his best days are behind him. They need to draft a big that they can bring off the bench to really give him some rest. Christian Brown is continuing to get better, but they need to draft a guard and a big. Somebody that can come off the bench with some energy, score a little bit, and then a big who can command the paint. And somebody that maybe even in a scary lineup you put next to Jokić just to see what he looks like. Maybe even first two months of the season just to see how they look together. I'm not saying take Jokić off the center spot because him being multifaceted on offense the way he is works better with him at the center spot. But maybe you could stick the guy, let's say he's 7 feet. Jokić is a clear 6'11". Stick him next to Jokić, put him at the 4. You know what I mean? I think he needs that. I don't think he has enough of a substitutional option when it comes to that 5 spot to really give him rest, especially with the lack of, rotation that they now have, losing Bruce Brown and losing Contavious Caldwell-Pope and guys like that who really were kind of like glue. You know what I mean? So I think that's the one thing that can really hurt Nikola Jokić as it pertains to his all-time case. But honestly, otherwise than that, if they were to get a title this year, which would be 2 titles for Denver in the last 3 seasons, right? And he was able to get a finals MVP out of this, I'm going to have to officially say Nikola Jokić is a top 15 NBA player in the history of the sport. This has been the Clutch Report. My name is Jamaal Bethea. Hit me up in the comments. Talk to me. Give me ideas. Give me some ideas. Tell me what you want to hear about. What do the shows on network television not talk about enough? We see that they always talk about LeBron, whether they love him or hate him. It's always a topic. LeBron is a license to print money. What are some things you wish they would talk about? Tell me in the comments. Last month for the month of, what is this, May? Last month for the month of April, I had like 30,000 views on my channel. So we're growing. Also subscribe. I got to get better at telling y'all to subscribe. Also subscribe to my channel. I've had about 200 subscribers in the last month and a half. And I'm excited about that. I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm getting to the point of almost being monetized. It's coming. It's coming. I'm about 60% there. I know I got a little more work to do, but it's coming. We're going to blow the lid off. I'm telling y'all now. Once I get monetized and I have even more time to really sit with this kind of stuff, watch what happens with this channel. But for now, again, this is Jamaal Bethea with the Clutch Report. Peace.